Okay, I'm here with Martin. I'm here with Martin, who's just given a great talk at the book launch. So tell us about your book, Electronically Yours, Volume 1. I guess there's going to be a Volume 2.
Well, it would be a guess at this point because it depends on this one's, covering its costs and whether the publishers want to publish a Volume 2. I'm not going to write it without some encouragement because it's a long process.
Yeah.
It took me here and there 18 months to do it.
And you did it in lockdown?
Yeah. So it's quite, I was trying to make a virtue out of the fact that we were in this constricted environment. And I thought, if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it,
Yeah. And so you're going to be you cover in the book your early days with the Human League.
Yep.
And do you go into detail about the split and stuff?
Oh, the detail of the split is quite explicit. I wanted to put the record straight because there's a lot of disinformation being spread about that particular event, and so I thought that was one of the key reasons why I wanted to do the book, is to set the record straight, really, but also just to kind of show a young guy from a poor background in Sheffield, no musical training, not really very many prospects actually. Mm-hmm. Didn't go to university, didn't go to art college, couldn't afford any of those options. Through determination and a certain amount of talent, can do well, I suppose. And luck.
And luck, of course. Luck always plays a part, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The book talks about Heaven 17, and also, I wasn't aware, your production, you've worked with Tina Turner, you've worked with Terence Trent D'Arby. Tell us about that.
Well, from being very young, I was always in love with soul music and Motown. Because my sisters, who were much older than me, had a big record collection. And when I was in my teenage years, I used to go to Northern Soul nights. I used to buy a lot of imported black music. And so everybody thinks, Human League were the original Kraftwerk and kind of vibe and very white, and in fact the opposite is true. So when in fact Heaven 17 came along, I decided to kind of be real and incorporate funk and black music into the new brand of music that I was writing and producing. And so we ended up, both with Heaven 17, my private production career, really believing that the electronic soul thing was the humanization of electronic production techniques.
And that's obviously why you work with Terence Trent D'Arby.
Well, that's why I was, obviously worked with Tina Turner at first, and then later on with Sananda Maitreya, as he's known now.
Yeah.
It was the perfect marriage of electronic production techniques and latest kind of sampling techniques as well, with a kind of UK electronic sensitivity, sensibility. Sorry.
Yeah.
There were obviously people in the US that were doing something similar, like Jam and Lewis and stuff like that, but they were very much soul, and electronics were, just the way they chose to express it. But we were coming at it from a unique perspective. So I persuaded Terence that he was the right man. I was the right man for the job.
Let me ask you a question. What is your favourite song of all time? Not that you've produced, that you listen to. If you're in the car, what will you put on?
I don't drive, number one.
Okay, so if you're at home, chilling out, what will you put on?
God, that's a tough call.
I mean, is it electronic music or is it orchestral?
No,
or?
probably not. It would be, I don't know, there isn't one, but I mean, one of them would be, I was always in love with Reach Out, I'll Be There. It's just something about that tune and that kind of period of Motown that really stuck in my soul. Also, River Deep Mountain High by Tina was one of the reasons why I wanted to work with her. I just think it's a work of stone cold genius.
Excellent. And you're going to be doing another talk, I think, in Manchester?
Yeah, 2 more, actually.
2 more? Okay.
Next weekend, yeah.
Okay, so hopefully I'll get this video out before then,
Yeah.
and I'll put some links. What else are you doing in the future? Obviously, we've got Christmas coming up. What's coming up for 2023? You got any plans?
Quite a lot of plans with my 3D sound company, Illustrious. Currently talking to a lot of immersive theatre designers about helping them create realistic 3-dimensional sound worlds as part of their dramatic exposition, including people like Punch Drunk and Netflix. And all
really
sorts of
excellent.
people. Yeah, I mean, we're looking at the top of that particular food chain.
And then the second part of the book, maybe.
Second part of the book is definitely a maybe.
Okay.
I know what it will be like. I've got a good idea.
Yeah.
But it's whether there's enough demand to justify it, because it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, I'm really looking forward to reading. Having heard you to speak today, some of the stories sound absolutely.
Yeah, they are funny, and I think I do them justice in the book as well.
Brilliant. Well, look, thank you for your time.
It's all right.
And enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
If you're enjoying this, smash that like button. And if you want to see hours of content that's similar to this, then check out the rest of my channel. What can you see? Well, there's interviews with old school hip hop artists. There's interviews with electronic musicians. There's even some punk.
Your shit, fuck off.
Plus there's stuff on records, vinyl and other pop culture stuff. So subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future stuff. And do what's right. Subscribe.
Subscribe to the Skyaaz YouTube channel.